Because you were speaking of affection, I was thinking, where do we find that? Everywhere. In all Krishna Lila, we have this affectionate mood shown. But to contrast it with actually services that might be done in a way of just because of duty, which pastime could fit the best there? And I found out that we have this beautiful example, and I will not tell it immediately. I will keep the secret a little bit longer. One morning, Krishna, Balaram, the friends were out very early in the morning. This morning, even Krishna was following the forest fire. Later on, Krishna thought, we are close to a small village where there are wonderful devotees of me, and I want to give them my mercy. So he made a plan in his mind. He said, let's avoid any path where my friends and myself could find any food. Then he made even an arrangement that usually every day Mother Yasoda will send some lunch package for the boys and for Krishna to eat. But this day, Krishna arranged nothing came. So everyone became very, very hungry. They had fasted the whole morning. The only one who did not fast was Krishna, because he had already swallowed the forest fire. So the boys came to Krishna, and they say they were actually, with a lot of enthusiasm, they were showing their belly with their fingers, and they say, Krishna, we are so hungry. Please make some arrangement that we will be able to fill up our belly soon. Our raging appetite have turned our pot of burning fire. Krishna said, come close, I have an idea. You go to the next, it's Taranda. It's actually very close to Vrindavan town. He said, there, they are wonderful devotees of me, and you go there to beg for some food. They are brahmanas. They are a little bit interested about going into heavenly planet, having a lot of pleasure in this material world, but you just go and you beg to them for some food. But be aware, they are not Vaishnavas. They know how to chant Hum Chat, Chat, Baho, Chat, but they cannot even tell our name, Krishna and Balaram. They are sleeping in the slumber of forgetfulness. Go, chant our name and wake them up. So the boys started their journey and went to the house of those brahmanas. And there it's very beautiful. For those of you who like to meditate, I'm sure you will appreciate. The scriptures give so many beautiful details of what can be seen, what can be smelled, what can be heard. So this is actually very, very nice for devotees who like to meditate when we hear such details. So the boys were approaching the house of the brahmanas, and they could start to smell the ghee, the burnt ghee from the fire yagya. They saw a stream of smoke, and they were hearing the mantra. They could see brahmanas coming and going. Everyone was very much occupied in their duties. Now the boys got a lot of pleasure for their senses. They pleased their eyes by seeing the beauty of the sacrificial fire. They were smelling the burning ghee. They were soothing their sense of touch with the warm air coming from the yagya, and they were hearing the brahmanas' melodious singing. But their belly was still empty. Their tongues were salivating in anticipation. The brahmanas, they were very, very much ritualistic. They were not having much sneha, not much love for Krishna. They were mainly interested for their own sense gratification. So they were a little bit dumb. Therefore Krishna said, you go and wake them up. So the boy came, they offered their obeisances to the brahmanas and addressed them with beautiful words. O earthly gods, kindly hear us. We wish you all good fortune. Krishna and Balaram are tending the cows nearby. They send us to you because you are well-wisher of everyone and well-known for giving liberal distribution of food. We have come to ask for some food from you. So the boys were asking with very beautiful voice, with respect, sweet words. They were showing really the etiquette of showing respect to brahmanas. Then they said, Krishna and Balaram, they are the person you are worshipping. The person you call in your yagya, they are just there, just next, and they are hungry. We are all so hungry. Please give us some food. But the brahmanas, they could not understand and they could not appreciate. They say, we have much more important to do. Just go away. Those brahmanas did not have any bhakti. They were proud of their knowledge and they just ignored the boys. So the boys came back to Krishna. They were a little bit morose, but Krishna spoke very interestingly, and here I think it's a very special note. I think it's come from Jiva Goswami in Gopal Champu. Krishna said, smiled and said, come closer, let us consider. Then Krishna said, finding the faults in others is the habit of common people. But you should not see like that. You should obtain food from the brahmana's wife. So no reason to find faults. Let's find a way that will really make a difference. Krishna said, those women, they immediately feel ecstatic if they hear my names. They are most affectionate toward me. They will give you plenty of food. Just go there and ask the wives. So the boys were so happy. They were riding on waves of pleasures and they quickly returned to the Yagyashala. This time they came from the back door and entered inside of the kitchen where all the wives of the Brahmana were preparing all the food stuff. Upon seeing the Yagya Patnis, the boy offered their obeisances and they prayed to them. O magnanimous wives of the greatest Brahmana, we offer our obeisances to your pinkish lotus feet that are the source of generosity and happiness. We are close friends of Krishna and we are all very hungry. Now when the wife heard the name Krishna, this name were resounding in their heads, Krishna, 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 Krishna. And they thought, what an enchanting mantra has come into our ears. Hearing that Krishna and Balaram and the boys were hungry, the wife of the Brahmanas became stunned. They could not move, they could not do anything else. So now the boys were very perplexed. What's going on? Krishna said they will give us some food, but they are not doing anything. What should we do? So they just repeated, Krishna, Balaram, we are all hungry. Give us some food. When they heard again, they came out of their senses. They became excited and overcome by a sweet anxiety. Maybe some of you from time to time get anxious in your life. Here we see when this anxiety is connected to Krishna, it becomes sweet. The sweet anxieties. So here come really the point of the best moment of the lecture, when we hear how much sneha, how much affection the wives of the Brahmana had. Now that they had this anxiety to serve Krishna beautifully, they prepared on a large plate all the foodstuff, piled rice, vegetables, other delicious food, which represented their loving desire to please and serve Krishna. The delicious item included creamy cakes, sweet breads, chapati and yogurt. They artistically arranged all the fragrant, juicy, delicious and colorful preparations. Just as a woman beautifies herself by wearing golden ornaments, similarly the variety of attractive vegetables embellished the offering. Now the Yagyapatnis, they had food in golden pots with crystal lids. So the pots, they were glittering attractively from the different objects that were reflecting on the crystal lids. So here we see how much love, how much affection, how much care they were putting into their service for Krishna. And then they put the boy in front, and ignoring all the people who were moving around in the arena of sacrifice, they came out with their pots on their heads and walked out. Now the brahmanas, they were doing their yagya, suddenly they just see their wives, the boys, everyone leaving with the foodstuff. They tried to block them, but there was no way. When a devotee hears the call of Krishna, nothing can stop him. So first, as the wife were coming closer, they were drowning in an ocean of bliss. Their eyes were flooded with tears, and they went to Krishna like rivers flow toward the ocean. As they were walking, they kept asking the boy, how far are we? And when they came close to Krishna, first they could smell the sweet bodily fragrance. Then they could see the effulgence of Krishna. And then they saw his form, which bestowed happiness. His beauty like a cloud with lightning. His moon-like face spreading light everywhere. And the sweetness of his hand mentioning, please come, please come. His hair was decorated with new birds, attractive to all people. It was like a long-lasting with pink sun rays at dawn. His left arm was resting on a friend's shoulder, and his right hand, he skillfully twirled a lotus while simultaneously spinning the mind of the ladies with loving agitation. So this is this beautiful pastime we wanted to tell you. The story is not finished, but the time is over, and many of you already know the story, so we don't need to spend more time for that. But in this chapter, on the verse 23, I just would like to read one sentence that summarizes also all what Maharaj was saying. Because what was happening, how did the wife of the Brahmana develop so much affection when the Brahmana themselves were not able to understand who was Krishna and Balaram? And it is described that that was by the association of the gopis. The gopis of Vrindavan, they will come often by this village when they will go to Mathura to sell milk products. And then they will speak with the wife of the Brahmanas and describe how Krishna was beautiful, what Krishna was doing. And just by the association of those pure-hearted gopis and by hearing about the topic of Krishna, they developed their sneha, they developed this very intense affection. So this is the verse 23 of this chapter. It's Shukadev Goswami speaking to Maharaj Parikshit. O ruler of men, for those Brahmana ladies had heard about Krishna, their beloved, and his glory had become the constant ornament of their ears. Indeed, their mind were always absorbed in him. So that was for today. It's there to give us impetus, no matter what we do, no matter how we do it. The most important of everything is that we learn to do it with sneha, like Maharaj was explaining. This is the only thing that counts in the eyes of Krishna. So whatever we do, that we learned this sneha mai seva, a seva filled with affection. So we thank you very much. Now we will take you for a darshan, beautiful darshan of Radha Madan Mohan, and after that we will have a Vaishnava darshan like we did yesterday. So please stay on board and feast your eyes and pray with